can I do for you, Rod? You just tell me, what can I do for you?
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Yeah. I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. I've been on the come up, counting money till my thumbs hurt. No Birdman, bitch, but I'm a stunner. Just watch how you run up. I keep a couple gunners. I've been grinding all winter just to flex all over summer shit. Wrist cold when I fall through. Rose go to my arm, boo. In and out of my city, but come whenever I call you. Who gon' love me more than when I'm stacking out on tour? Them hoes that made it past security, they knocking on my door. You gon' be there when they gone. Show my love by getting more. Hustle so you ain't alone. You won't leave me, that's for sure. I'm talking Benjis, Franklin's, all these hundos on my floor. I just broke a couple bands, believe me, I've been going hard. I'm tipping bottle after bottle, swerving model after model. Who won't cash? That's the motto. Spend it like I hit the lotto. Yeah, I'm loving my life. I know that I ain't shit without you. Actions speak louder than words. They broke cause they just talk about you, huh? I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. Money bag after money bag, I'm the man now. Play the cards that I was dealt and I ain't need no handouts. Fresh on every set, give respect, mama out of debt. Got a new connect, we the best, homie run the check. Wifey got a new bag, new house, you mad? We just doing us, feeling wavy, fuck a do-rag. This that no stress flow, bobbing on my ex. She don't love cash, kiss my ass, baby XO. Thank you for that line, Mr. West, but I'm next though. Hey, you me the sad, bitch, I'm blessed, sipping XO. For the love of money, I stay fucking hungry. I parted ways with the kitchen, that just wasn't for me. Every show they love me, now I'm showing love back. They ain't taking nothing from me, so I throw a couple stacks. You when I'm in your town, have some fun, blow a bag. Fuck with me when I'm around. Trust me, shorty, I'll be back, huh? I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy.
Yay. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Alphabets Football Show. I am your host, Marcus the Alphabets, where we take you on about a 2-hour-long journey once again to discuss our favorite sport in the whole wide world, which is football. Sorry we've been out the net. This was our first time actually missing the show in 5 years, but it was some act of God stuff going on. But I tried to kind of keep y'all up to date when it comes to stuff, doing the coffee talk in the morning. But we're back. We got a nice show lined up for you. But first things first, before we get things popping, I'd like to introduce my lovely co-host. I call her Miss Bruce Willis because she's diehard. Mona, you're back. You good over there?
I am good. Got power back. Finally got steady internet because they got it back and it was gone. It was back and it was gone. So, but yep, I'm still very blessed. I just a lot of people out there hurting really bad. No homes to live in, nowhere to go, can't get off the mountains. Just some bad
Yeah.
stuff out there. So I got prayers for everybody.
For sure. I have family members and stuff over there. My brother actually lives in Virginia too.
Yep, he
Um,
lives in Northern Virginia. I don't know if they would have got much up there.
but yeah, just anybody who's in, and then the people who got hit by, the people who originally got hit by Hurricane Helene, and then the people who just got hit recently with what was it, Milton in Florida. Just thoughts and prayers. This is, the thing I love about sports is generally it brings people together. People go to the stadium, they cheer for their favorite teams and stuff like that. But also, this is the time for everybody to come together. We're all Americans, and when people are hurting, we do a football show, but our first love should be of country, So I want everybody to be safe out there, and I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna, do a show like we normally do. A lot of this stuff I've kind of covered it on the Coffee Talk in the morning, but since Mona's been out the net, I wanted to hear her thoughts on some of this stuff here. So we're going to kind of revisit some stuff. You might see it again, but we'll go through it real quick, and then we'll do our normal stuff and do our players of the week and scores and stuff like that. So let's get this party started. If you're a football fan, like and share the show. We're on YouTube Live right now. Get up in there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and invite some people up in there, invite people in the group, and we're going to try to have a nice little football talk. So what was it? This was last week. So we had our Thursday night game last night. So this is the last night's Thursday's game last week. Look, Kirk Cousins, outstanding. Just put on a show, put on an absolute show. He threw for 500 yards, I believe. I think he's thrown for the most yards this season. It was a back and forth, very entertaining game. Drake London showed out. The people we expected to have good games, they had good games. Drake London had a good game. Kyle Pitts, people who've been waiting for Kyle Pitts to finally, show out. He was a top 5 pick. And then Mike Evans being Mike Evans. So, but Kirk Cousins stole the show. And look, it's what we expected. The Atlanta Falcons, all that they've really been missing the past few years with the Desmond Ridders and the Marcus Mariotas is consistent quarterback play. They hadn't really had steady quarterback play since, Matty Ice. And Kirk Cousins, he kind of started off slow at the beginning of the year. He tore his ACL at the end of last year when he was still with the Vikings. And you're kind of starting to see him be Captain Kirk again and kind of getting back into the swing of things. So, a lot of us thought that the NFC South would be
he became Captain Kirk and guided his ship around the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, so a lot of us expected the NFC South to be like maybe the worst division. You're kind of starting to see it's a little bit competitive over there now. The Saints kind of jumped out to a fast start. I think they started out 3-0, and I think they lost 3 straight.
Two because this week's coming out.
Yeah, well, they've lost 2 straight, and then Derek Carr's out. We'll talk about that. But congratulations to the Falcons, and I think you're going to, and even the Panthers are kind of,
Dalton said they started out 2-0.
Yeah. So, yeah, they got, it's getting a little bit competitive over there. And even the Carolina Panthers, who are still not that great of a team, they benched Bryce Young, and Andy Dalton has brought some veteran experience in over there. And we're kind of like seeing it. So it's going to be a little bit, but I think these are going to be the 2 teams at the top that's going to be battling for that division. So congratulations to the Falcons. What we got next?
We had Sunday's scores.
So here's all the scores here. Some of the stuff that stood out. Mona, I know you weren't really able to watch all of the games, so just like a brief synopsis. The Minnesota Vikings, like we all expected, 5-0. I had to end up giving a damn Vikings themed T-shirt to Kyle Stoyic. But 5-0 beat Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked very bad in that game. Caleb Williams, they beat the
play calling in the game was horrible. I actually got to watch that game.
Which one's that?
The Jets Vikings game.
Well,
the play calling was horrible. You got two running backs like you have on that team, and you're not utilizing any kind of running game with Breece Hall. What? But that's all right because I think Aaron Rodgers is possibly getting ready to get one of his old receivers back again. And I think that if that happens, the biggest issue I still have problems with the Jets is their offensive line.
Yeah, they're certainly. I mean, they've tried to address it, but it's just I don't know. It's just one of those things. Offensive line is a tough thing because that's where you got to be at training camp. I really think, and I think Aaron Rodgers too. I think he needed to be there. You got a lot of players coming in, and he doesn't like going to training camp. And it's like you're a little bit older. You're coming off an injury. And I thought maybe this year maybe you should have made an exception and been at training camp. Houston Texans, they take down the Bills. Nico Collins put on an absolute show, but he's on IR. The Ravens just my goodness, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson put on a show.
Tells me that neither one of their defenses played in that game. Listen, you look at that score, 38-41. No. We know Cincinnati don't have a defense, but where the hell is Baltimore's defense allowing the Bengals to score 38 points against them?
Yeah, but you're also sometimes it's not the defense. It's you're playing a really, really, really good offense. And one thing that the Bengals do have, they got all-world wide receiver Jamar Chase.
Why aren't they going through that offensive line? I know the offensive line has improved, but they still ain't the greatest. We saw that in the first 4 games. So, no, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we're gonna see in a few weeks. When we start having our division games, we'll see. I think the Ravens defense is pretty good. It's just sometimes you run into a team, and then again you have division rivalries where you know each other, but the Bengals offense, they don't have a defense. I think they got one of the worst defenses in the league, but they got an all-world offense that can put points on anybody.
But when you say they have one of the worst defenses in the league because they allowed the Baltimore Ravens to score 41 points, but you have to keep it a buck and say the same thing about the Baltimore Ravens allowing.
It's not true though, but sometimes when you did you have a good defense last year? Did the Pittsburgh Steelers have a good defense last year?
Sure did.
Okay, so why did the 49ers put up all those points? Is it because your defense sucks, or because the 49ers have an outstanding offense?
No, let me answer the damn question.
Okay.
We didn't have an offense that could sustain a damn drive against the 49ers, and our defenses wore out before the half.
Okay, but I'm still on the stat board. It says that you're
don't care what the
got this many
stats are like bikinis. What they reveal is important, but what they say is essential.
Okay, but I'm just saying that because a team put up a lot of points, sometimes the other team just has an outstanding all-world offense that's hard to deal with. There's a reason why what is it? The unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Okay, you got a really great defense. They got a really good offense. Something's got to give. So, the Jags, they finally get their first win. Doug Peterson, you get to keep your job a little bit longer because I thought if they had lost that game last year, do you think it's fair to say that Doug Peterson would have got fired before Robert Saleh? They were 0-4, 0-5. 0-4, and then they
got fired, so we don't know what's going on with that.
What's that?
We don't know if Peterson would have got fired or not.
We don't know, but I'm just saying, like, he's on. Can we agree that Doug Peterson's on the hot seat?
Maybe.
When they pay all of that money for the player, you just paid Trevor Lawrence $55 million. And probably part of the reason why you got that job is because Doug Peterson is considered a quarterback whisperer. I think he was Brett Favre's backup when he played, and then he made Carson Wentz with the Eagles look like the best he's ever looked. So look, in the AFC East, the Patriots are terrible and the Dolphins are terrible without Tua, but they're not. The Patriots may be the worst team in the league. They may be having the first pick in the draft. The Commanders, they blow up, they win again. They look really impressive. Right now, if I had my vote, Jaden Daniels, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mona? If you had to vote for it?
Yeah, if you had to vote for it right now, absolutely.
Yeah, I just think it's what he's doing is incredible. The Cardinals beat the 49ers. I mean,
I don't know how. Look, Woodley, I don't understand how that comment. Both Ravens and Bengals have high-powered offenses. I agree. But the Bengals defense is more suspect than the Ravens defense. Well, the Ravens defense allowed Bengals to score 38 points. So, I rest my case. All right, keep going.
So where we the Giants. Look, everybody, and I did a stream on it this morning. Everybody, it's just like I said on the stream. There's no award for being 3-0. For all you people out there, fan is short for fanatic, and people overreact. Oh my God, we're 3-0. There's no award for being 3-0. All my Seahawks fans, no offense to you, but y'all were flying high, 3-0, and then you done lost 3 straight. You lost again last night to the 49ers. Bo Nix, look, these rookie quarterbacks, they're doing okay. Caleb Williams, Drake May's going to start this weekend. Spencer Rattler's going to start this weekend. We'll get to that. These rookie quarterbacks, they're doing all right. Bo Nix, I think the Broncos are 3-2. Jordan Love, he comes back and gets the win over the Rams. Jordan Love, he comes back. His first game back, he didn't look that great. Last week, he looked more like Jordan Love. They're spreading the ball around. They look really good. And then I didn't expect this. I think, Mona, I think we both took the Steelers to win this game. The Cowboys.
If the referees would start calling holding calls against teams holding T.J. Watt on that very last play, he was clothesline held.
Yeah.
Just and couldn't get loose before Dak was able to throw the ball into the end zone, or you don't win that game.
Yeah,
that's another sack. He was clothesline held. I actually have a video of it, and I'm thinking, where the hell is the holding call? I mean, you're not just holding him; you're clotheslining him around the damn neck and holding his jersey to keep him from getting to Dak. Yeah, you're doing your job, but that should have been a penalty. That should have been a holding call. Yeah. And then does Dak get the ball in the end zone at that point?
Yeah, I've had a problem with some of the officiating.
Oh, trust me.
This year,
I know everything about the Bengals defense.
Yeah, the officiating this year has been kind of questionable. I've kind of had an issue with the
tic-tac calls in a lot of these games that I have got to watch, and a lot of these games I had to go back through and just watch like the highlight reels on YouTube. Yeah. And I'm sitting there watching these games, and I'm watching these plays, and I'm watching them call ticky-tack calls, and then I'm sitting there watching them not call blatant foul.
They're calling illegal formation where the lineman, if you're like half an inch back, they've been getting the kid from Kansas City. They just get him he gets like 3 of those a game, and then the offensive lineman down the field. I'd really like to start seeing the officials get a grade at the end of the game, and whoever has the highest grade, they go back after the games, and then somebody sits down and grades their officiating, and whoever has the highest grade, you get the playoff games in the Super Bowl. That would be an incentive for some of these referees that are making and look, as long as we have humans officiating games, there's going to be blown calls. I get it. I don't know if you're ever going to have like perfect officiating, but some of the calls are some of the calls are so egregious. You're just like, what the hell are you looking at? You know. So the Monday night game, Kansas City being Kansas City. Look, we are witnessing. We you know, and I said this on the stream. We're witnessing a new dynasty. You know, I really do believe, short of, knock on wood, Patrick Mahomes suffering a career type injury,
or even a season-ending injury.
Well, I mean, he could still come back. But I'm talking about where it's something where it's a career-ending injury. That's the only thing.
I think more calls need to be challenged too. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I just I hate that. I hate when it's just some of these calls. You're just like, what are you looking at, man? But look, with the Chiefs, what they're doing, what Mahomes it really. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of irks me when people, Patrick Mahomes, he did 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I'm like, dude, he's out there with Uber drivers. You put another quarterback in this situation with the way that the Chiefs are presently constructed, the way that they're presently with the play. Look, you're missing your RB1 Pacheco. You're missing your wide receiver 1 Rice. You're missing your wide receiver 2. Don't forget Hollywood Brown is supposed to be their number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're missing your running back 1, your wide receiver 1, your wide receiver 2, and 35-year-old Kelsey, and
Juju is playing lights out right now.
Juju got cut by the Patriots. Who has a worse wide receiver core than the New England Patriots? They said we're good. Go ahead, Juju.
I think Juju wanted to be cut from the Patriots.
Maybe.
All right, I want to answer this. Dalton, will Chiefs ever be the 2007? Look, they're not constructed that way. They're going to lose 1 or 2 games this season. I don't ever see them ever going, 17-0. I don't ever see that happening. But they don't have to, because they win when it counts. They win in the playoffs, and they are. Look, I don't care who you are. The Chiefs are a different team from regular season to the playoffs. Yeah. Once the postseason starts, they are a whole different team. And people have to realize this. I've never, in all the years I have watched, and I love my Pittsburgh Steelers, but I've never seen a team captained by a quarterback. I've never seen a quarterback play like Patrick Mahomes. To me, the way he's going, he is the GOAT. He will take GOAT status away from Tom Brady.
He's not even 30 yet. He's not even 30, and he has 3 Super Bowls. Yeah. He's not even 30. I think he's like 29. I don't think he's quite 30 yet. But he's 29 years old with 3 Super Bowls and a Super Bowl MVP. You know, I'd take Juju over any other. But I agree with you, Ace. Y'all are hurting over there. Y'all got to do something before the trade deadline. Definitely, y'all got to do something before the trade deadline. So what we got? Some news and notes. What we got?
We're going to talk about the firing of Salah.
The first one. And we had been talking about this. Look, I just think this is the same type of situation, Mona. We talked about this off the air. I think this is the same type of situation that was with Brady when he went to the Bucs, and I think he told, just like Brady told whoever up front, the owner, you better get Bruce Arians out of my headset, or I'm going to retire.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Ace. I think Pickens is going to the Raiders, and I think we're getting Devontae Adams. I think it happens after this weekend's game.
I see trading. And see, I don't think you trade. I don't think you trade Pickens yet because he's still on his rookie deal.
Or maybe we give him a quarterback.
Maybe. Look, if you swap Pickens for Adams, you're really kind of in the same situation. Because you know what's going to happen if you just have Devontae Adams on your team. You know what's going to happen, and you don't have another receiver on the other side. They're going to do that. They're going to double him. They're going to follow him around, and they're going to take him out of the game.
That ain't the only problem we're having with Pickens. Look, if Pickens knows he's not getting the ball, he doesn't even run down the field like he's going to get the ball to throw off a defense. He's jogging down the field or picking his ass.
Yeah. They got to nip it in the bud. They got to nip that in the bud. That's what I was talking about.
I agree with you. I think that will be the next step that Tomlin takes is a suspension.
Yeah, I got to do something to get your attention. I got to do something to get your attention, and the way that you do that, I tell people all the time. There's two ways that you really get people's attention: time and their money. I'm gonna take some of that game. I'm gonna take a couple of them game checks away for you. You ain't making a lot of money because you're a second round pick. He might be making $2 or $3 million a year. He ain't making like 35 million like CD and Justin Jefferson. But that's still a lot of money. And I take a game check from you for about $100,000, $200,000. I got to do something to get your attention if you keep it up, But back to Saleh, the writing was on the wall. It was just on the wall. We could see it. You could see, you could see how they interacted with each other. One time they had scored a touchdown and Saleh was trying to give him kind of like a hug, and he was like, "Dude, like get out of my face," So I think Saleh.
I look at it too. They got rid of Saleh. They stripped Hackett of his play calling duties, and they bring in Jeff Ulbrich as their new interim head coach. Announces the passing game coordinator Todd Downing will call the plays. You know who's calling the damn plays.
Yeah.
Stupid. We know who's calling the play. He's going to be behind that line in the backfield, saying, "Hike."
Yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers. I just think Aaron Rodgers wanted more autonomy.
I don't care how much of a prima donna he is. I love him. I love him, and I always will. And I'm going to tell you something. Nothing he does bothers me. Nothing.
I don't like some of the shenanigans, but I tell people all the time, you have to get out of here.
What real shenanigans does
he's a diva, Mona. He's like Brett Favre. He's like Brett Favre. I didn't like the stuff Brett Favre did.
Name one. Name one shenanigan he's done.
Just the smirky kind of thing, not showing up to train. You got all rookie. He never
showed up for training camp. Not even
and that's okay. And
he's coming off
good. That's not good. Just because you continue to do that,
season-ending injury. He was trying to give himself a little more time to compete.
Okay, his last year with Green Bay, you got Devontae Adams is gone, and you got all rookies. Yep. You don't think that's a good time to maybe, you know what? I don't really have to do that with Devontae Adams because me and him kind of have a relationship. I can just look at him and kind of tell, what he's going to do. I got all rookie wide receivers, and I still ain't coming to trap. That's an asshole move. That's an ass. It's like you got these kids that you need to get on the same sheet of music with, and you don't do that. The other asshole thing he did during COVID when he lied. He lied. If you don't want to get the vaccination, that's fine. But don't lie about it.
He wasn't the only damn person that lied about the vaccination.
But he was at a game.
He was moping around all game last week. Have you watched any of the Jets games? I mean, seriously, have you watched any of the play calling? Have you watched how they haven't taken advantage of the two running backs they have? And look, I'm sorry. He was frustrated. He was absolutely frustrated. The play calling in that game was absolutely just hideous. It was horrible.
It
That
was.
they should never have lost that game. They shouldn't have.
Okay, but also him throwing 3 interceptions doesn't help either. You can't, not you, him talking you can't complain about it, and then you're part of the problem. You're throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball. What does that have to do with the coaching when you're throwing interceptions?
Do you know how many interceptions Aaron Rodgers has thrown in his career?
He's one of the most efficient quarterbacks ever. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers from 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. You're a 40-year-old quarterback now.
He was told to people he was told to throw the ball to.
Oh, okay. Again, you want to be the coach. You want to be the person that you want to be the person who's making all the play calls and stuff. Okay, that's fine. Now you don't have no excuses. Not you, him. You don't have no excuses. Like I tell people all the time. After a while, when everybody starts getting fired, when they fire the offensive coordinator and they fire the coach and they fire the quarterback's coach, you know who's left? What's the one common denominator? Just like I say with like relationships. If you've been divorced 4 or 5 times, all your exes ain't assholes. Eventually, it comes down to you. You know what I'm saying? So as far as Saleh, I think he's an outstanding defensive coordinator. I don't know if he's look. Like I was saying in the stream, not everybody is cut out to be a head coach. I never thought Rex Ryan was a great head coach, but you know what he was? He was an outstanding defensive coordinator. Your guy, y'all's old defensive coordinator. You know he used to be a head coach too. What was Dick LeBeau? He was a head coach before. He was not a good head coach, but you know what he was outstanding at? He was an outstanding defensive coordinator. Robert Saleh was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. I think he'll land on his feet. Shit, he's making $22,000 a day. He's making $22,000 a day, and he ain't coaching. So he's still getting his money. He's going to be all right. I think he lands a defensive coordinator job. If I'm him, I'd take the rest of the year off, and I'd go get me a DC job next year. Derek Carr, he's out. Look, it sucked. And this is what I said. Everybody, when they came out at the beginning of the season, look at the Saints. They're putting up all these points and stuff. Eventually, people I've never thought Derek Carr was a good quarterback. I've never thought he was a good quarterback. And I'm not even talking about him being injured now. I'm saying they've lost. They've lost because Derek Carr is who he is. He's 34, 35 years old. He is what he is now. That's what he is. Like after a while, after you get a sample size of people, after a while, that's who they are. They get to a certain age, and that's what they are. Derek Carr is a slightly above average quarterback. He's always been that. Even with all the weapons that they have now with Alvin Kamara and Rashid Shaheed. And
he's out because he's injured, right?
Yes, but even before that, these past couple of games, 2 or 3 games, he has not played well. The first couple of games of the year, they're lighting up the scoreboard. They kick the hell out of my Cowboys, and now he falls back down to earth, just like with Cinderella. The clock strikes 12, and those glass slippers turn to a raggedy flip-flop. That's what happens because that is what he is. He's not a terrible quarterback, but he's not all of that. So the kid,
glass slippers actually stayed the same, even though everything else went back.
What's that?
The glass slippers actually stayed the same. It was the rest.
You're right. The glass. You're right. You're right.
Yes,
you're right. Yeah, everything. Yeah, you know the
pumpkin. Too.
And as much as I didn't watch it, as much as Z had me watch that, I should know that the carrots turned back to a pumpkin. That nice dress turned back to the raggedy ass, robe. That's just what happened. So the kid, look,
I think they're missing Taysom. I do, Dalton.
Yeah, he's out this week. Taysom. There's no other player like him in the league. Like this guy plays running back, he plays quarterback, he plays tight end, and he just gives their offense a whole nother dynamic. He's kind of hurt. He's older now. I think he's like 34 years old. But the kid gets, look, eventually you got to throw those kids out there. Now, I didn't say this, but there are some people that have compared Spencer Rattler. I didn't say this, so don't y'all jump on me. That have compared Spencer Rattler to Patrick Mahomes because he kind of looks like him. He's a mulatto dude, the hair, the headband. You can see some similarities. You know, he started off at Oklahoma, I think, and then I think he finished up at like South Carolina. So he gets his chance this week. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but he's going to get the nod. Originally, they had said he was going to be
playing against the Gamecocks this weekend. I just had to throw that out there because got to understand when I first started watching college, South Carolina Gamecocks was my team, and then I switched. Yeah, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years later, I Wes Spurrier kind of left and kind of, you know, but it's going to be an interesting game after losing to Vanderbilt last weekend. We won't even talk about that. Oh, let's go to the next.
That one kind of hurt. So again, I think this will be all of the rookie quarterbacks this week will get this. Will finally got their start.
Dalton Smith, I don't. I think if Taysom is in that game, they don't lose that game.
Yeah, he presents all kind of problems, but all the other rookies, you know, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, you know, and Bo Nix, they've all been starting.
I just find it funny that Jaden Daniels is, but I kind of feel like he's got a few more weapons, or maybe a better offensive line even than what Caleb Williams does. And it's funny how he jumped out from the get-go playing good ball. And it took Caleb Williams a couple of games to, you know, get in his groove. Do we know is he in his groove now? You know, we just gotta wait and see, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to always be compared to each other. Anytime you go 1-2, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young will be compared. Their careers will be compared till they retire. That's just the way it works. You're always compared to your peers. Ben Roethlisberger is going to be compared to Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning because you were in that draft class, so y'all are all compared. So Drake May's going to get the start this week. I think it's a bad idea. I think this is you're really. I hate throwing a kid. The New England Patriots may have the worst offensive weapons in the league right now. If the draft were held today, you know who had the number 1 pick? New England Patriots.
I was going to say the New England Patriots.
They and Ramondre Stevenson's out this week. So the best player that you have on offense, he's out. You ain't got no receivers. Your best receiver is Jalen Pope, and you're throwing this kid out there. Oh, yeah, we can definitely – we'll get to that. Let me get through these slides, and we can definitely talk about that. But I think this is a bad idea. But like I say all the time, y'all got to listen to me. When you're a first-round pick in today's game, what am I going to say, Mona? When you're a high first-round pick, Mona, as a quarterback, what am I going to say, Mona?
You're going to the worst team in the NFL.
But not just that. About you playing. You're going to play.
You're going to end up playing, and I still think it's a mistake. So
it is, but you know who made it hard for everybody? CJ Stroud. because they just you're the number 2 pick, and he came out there and did good. So you know what they're saying? They're like, well, CJ Stroud could do it, so you can do it. But they're not also considering that the
Texans are last place team the year prior. So
yeah, but they're also not considering that the Texans had a lot of draft picks because they fleeced the Browns. They're not taking that into consideration.
They're still fleecing the Browns. Look, they're going to be fleecing the Browns until they get.
No, they got all the picks. They got
No. I'm telling you, until the Cleveland Browns get rid of Deshaun Watson at quarterback, they're going to be fleecing them until that point.
Yeah, but I'm saying the actual picks, they got you got Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter with those picks.
Texans. Every weekend, the Houston Texans are live.
It's just fleecing them. So this was last week, but
I went
Von Miller got suspended. Look, there are some people saying the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott need to be investigated and held accountable. Look, we can't have two standards, people, because I heard last year, I'm not going to mention no names or nothing, from a certain fan base.
Not last year. Last year he had a healthy season.
That's you're right. 2 years ago, I heard from a certain fan base. I'm not going to mention the name of the fan base, but I'll give their initial. The Buffalo Bills. You said that somebody needs to be fired because right before the half, when he got hurt in the game versus y'all, I believe he had a concussion. Did you believe that Tua had a concussion, Mona?
Yep.
In that first Bills game? And the doctor cleared him. He came out and threw a bomb to Waddle.
A 60-yard bomb.
Didn't they win that game? And people were like, well, he shouldn't have even been in the game. He should have been. And the doctor got fired. The doctor who cleared him got fired. What's the difference? I don't give a damn what nobody says. Josh Allen's ass was knocked out for about 2 or 3 seconds. He gets up, walks to the sideline, he's going in the blue tent. They turned over the ball. The Texans turned over the ball, and he runs back out in the field and grabs his helmet. You're not going to tell me that they did a concussion.
And he actually did not play well.
No, and he didn't. And Josh Allen, we consider him a top 1, top 2, top 3 quarterback, and he played a terrible game. 9 of 30% completion. He ain't did that kind of work since his rookie season. And I know the Texas defense is good, but come on now. Somebody needs to be investigated for that. They need to do it because that was dangerous. The way he looked and he went face first into the
if you were watching that game live like I was, and I'm sure you were, you saw him lay there for almost 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And Will Ace just says, I got the inside scoop. Word was he was out.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Somebody needs. There needs to be an accounting for that. Because we can't have two standards. I believe Tua was knocked out, and I said that. Mona, you said that. The person that didn't say that was Jay Renaud. No, he wasn't due. And then 4 days later, they had a Thursday game against the Bengals, remember? And he got knocked out. That's the one where he had his fingers all crunched up.
Yep.
Because he was concussed in the Bills game. And he got through the game. You could get through a concussion and finish out the game, but he was concussed in that game, and he comes back and takes that gets body slammed in the Bengals game, and then that's when he really had the concussion. Now he had 3 or 4 concussions. Josh Allen was knocked the hell out. He was concussed, and they let him back in the game because they were in the middle of a fight with
on the very next play after he went to 10.
Yeah. So. Who came in? Trubisky came in. He had a play because you got to come out.
That's what I said. Yeah, he went out in the blue tent, and the very next play, he was back in the game.
Well, they got the ball, and then they turned over the ball. The Texans turned over the ball. And then he ran back out. But the Texans had a turnover. I don't know. I don't know if it was a fumble or an interception or something. But the Texans turned over the ball. He just grabbed his helmet and ran back on the field. There needs to be an accounting for that. So we'll see what happens as far as that. When we find out something, we'll let you know. Cam Newton, he's been doing his little podcast and stuff, but he's going to be a commentator on First Take.
I'm sorry, I can't stand to listen to him talk. Period. So. I probably won't watch First Take anymore.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Stephen A. and I really like watching Molly Karam. And I like Shannon over there. They got a good dynamic. Okay, I mean, he's a former league MVP, and he was a former Heisman Trophy winner. He was a former national champion and a former junior college national champion, and the number 1 pick. But okay, congratulations, Cam. I don't like your clothes.
Exactly, Don. Will there be a dress code?
Yeah, I don't. But hey, everybody's got their style,
Neither am I. I am not a fan of Cam. Never have been.
Yeah, so we'll see. Like Meek Mill says, whatever you do, there's levels to this. Every week we bring, the statistical leaders, but And every week we bring you the power rankings, some people moving up and down. Wow, my Cowboys, they moved up. Mona, your Steelers moved down. Chiefs still at wow. The Vikings at 2, Ravens at 3. Okay.
Look
I
at
don't
the
know.
Commanders. They moved up 3 to number 6.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really don't like the Bills being in the top 10. I think the Bills.
Falcons jumped up 6 after beating Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's a big jump. I think the Packers are gonna kind of go on a run here.
You stay away from his Molly.
Oh man, between her and Joy, them. So here's your passing leader. Oh my God! Wow, Geno Smith.
At the top.
Geno Smith is the passing leader. Wow, just imagine that. So look, Dak's 20 yards behind him. And look, after last night, it was, this is at the end of week 5, going into this week, not including last night's Thursday game. So here's your leader, Geno Smith up top there. He had a terrible game last night. The 49ers just shut him. They had him running for his life last night. CJ Stroud,
I can remember the battles of the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers. Those teams always play each other just.
Yeah, you got those in division right where it's like it's going to be a fight. Even when they're a little bit down, as a Steelers fan, every time you see the Ravens, it's going to be a fight, Yep. But so here's your leaders here. Nico Collins, and this sucks because he went on IR. He has a high ankle sprain, so he went on short-term IR, so he's going to be out for 4 games at least. And then those LSU boys, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. If you had a choice, who you taking? If you say
I'm Justin Jefferson.
You taking Jefferson over?
Yeah.
I posted up. If y'all get a chance, go into the group. I posted up. They put it out today. Who would be on the first team All-Pro team? Go up in there and check it out and put y'all's comments underneath there. And then the kid, Jaden Reed from the Packers. He's kind of starting to emerge. We kind of were like, who's going to be that number 1 for the Packers? Is it going to be Christian Watson? Is it going to be Romeo Dobbs? Is it going to be Wicks? Is it going to be Reed? And you're kind of starting to see that it's Jaden Reed. And then Derrick Henry. Look, it probably won't happen, but I think that there could be an argument made as of right now. Now, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said that I had Josh Allen as my MVP. If you ask me right now who I think the MVP is, this been performing nearly, exceptionally all year long, it would be Derrick Henry. Because Lamar Jackson's had a couple of bad games, And then the kid Jordan Mason, he comes in. I think his run's about to be over. Last night, I thought he separated his shoulder. He left the game last night against the Seahawks. And they said that Christian McCaffrey's on his way back. Once Christian McCaffrey comes back, kids, you ain't getting no more run. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and the kid. This is another one here. Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard has saved my skin in fantasy football. But his run's about to come to the end because as soon as Jonathan.
All right, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it Chuba Hubbard or Chubba Hubbard?
It's Chuba Hubbard. I used to have because when he played at Oklahoma State, I was like Chubba Hubbard. They go, no, it's Chuba. I'm like, okay. But once Jonathan Brooks, Mona, you know about Jonathan Brooks. Your Alabama team saw him. Jonathan Brooks is if he doesn't tear his ACL last year, he's a first-round pick. I don't know if he's as good as Bijan Robinson coming out of Texas, but he's awesome. Chuba is probably going to be gone next year, and Brooks is going to be the man. I just when he's fully healthy, that kid's a problem. but they got some other things they got to fix. So that's your top 5 offensive statistical leaders. And then for my lovely co-host, because she's such a diehard defensive person, I know she ain't really liking this right now because people that we expected to be the defensive player of the year, this season. And look, there's a lot of football left to be played. Look,
I was gonna say
we're going into week 6. I've seen games where TJ, Myles Garrett, Micah. I think Micah's out of it because he's missing games. He's got, and the Cowboys going to bye after this game. They're going to bye. I don't think Micah makes it this year, but TJ. I think TJ at the end is going to be there somewhere. I think Myles Garrett will be in there. The thing with Myles Garrett is their offense is so terrible. The Browns' offense is terrible. I don't know. They're not going to pass them.
They're not any. I don't know if they're any worse than what Pittsburgh's offense is right now.
They might be, but Aiden Hutchinson right
now. The line is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, just atrocious.
Like I said, we lost 3 for the season starters, and we had 1 on IR. We had 1 who missed the first 4 games in Suamalu. So
your offense, your number 1 pick, your first round pick this year, he's out. So it's tough sledding. The Polynesian kid. So right now, Aiden Hutchinson, he's doing his thing. Who would have thought it? And then a nose tackle, Dexter Lawrence, 340-pounder. He's doing his thing. Will McDonald, I liked him coming out of Florida State. I think he came out of Florida State. I think he'd be doing even better if punk ass Hassan Reddick would get. Look, it's so bad with Hassan Reddick, his teammate that should be playing on the other side of him, that his sports agents, they fired him. They said, we quit. We can't deal with you no more. When they work for you. They said, we don't want to work with you no more. CAA Promotions, I think they're called. They left. This Hassan Reddick thing, I don't know. I'm hoping that
Will McDonald came from Iowa State.
Iowa State. Was it? No, that was Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. Jermaine Johnson. Then he was another edge rusher they got. Okay. Yeah, Will McDonald, 6 sacks. And I think he'd be doing even more if Hassan Reddick was there. They thought that they would have this guy so they could have a nice little, on the outside of Quinnen Williams, but still he's doing this thing. I like that Jets defense. It's just, again, the offense isn't firing, it isn't performing well. So, and then Kyle Van Noy. Wow. I mean, just really, Kyle Van Noy, how old is Kyle Van Noy? He's still in the league. So those are your sack leaders there. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's a lot of football to be played. Aaron Rodgers, 60,000.
I think he actually got a lot of sacks the other night, didn't he? Didn't he have like 2 sacks, maybe 3?
Who's that?
Van Noy. Didn't he have 2
sacks?
Yeah,
I think that's why he's up there in that top 5. I think that's why he's up there in that top 5 because he had a really good game. Aaron Rodgers, 60,000 yards. Mona, Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famer.
I think so.
If he quit today, if he didn't play another down, a first ballot.
Yep, I think so.
I think so too. He's got 60,000 yards, Super Bowl champ, multiple MVPs. What do I say? My criteria for the
4 MVPs.
4 MVPs. My criteria for the Hall of Fame: Pro Bowls, All Pros, Pro Bowls, All Pros, Super Bowls.
I'm not sure. Let me look.
So, he meets all the criteria. You may not like him personally. I don't like some of this the snarkiness and the kind of, he's kind of got this condescending.
You can't say anything about his play.
You can't say nothing about his play. I didn't personally like Antonio Brown, but guess what? On the field, strictly on the field, T.O., you may not like the things that T.O. did. What they did to T.O. was egregious. You may not
like the Super Bowl MVP as well.
Super Bowl MVP, so first ballot Hall of Famer. When he quits,
he's 2 times Pro Bowl, 4 times NFL passer rating rating leader, two-time NFL passing touchdown leader, NFL completion percentage leader, NFL 2010 All-Decade Team, Mark Star Award, Associated Press Athlete of the Year, Burt Bell Award. I mean, you can go.
He's got everything. He's got everything. You may not like him personally, and that's fine. There's people when I talked about it this morning. You may not like. LeBron James sucks. LeBron James does not suck.
I've never said he sucks. I just don't.
No, I'm saying like I've heard people say that. They're like LeBron. I don't like LeBron James either. I think he's kind of a whiny little
bitch.
He's okay. You said I didn't, but he is. But guess what? He's the all-time scoring leader. He's a 4-time champion. He's a
but he's stayed in the league for a long time just to get the.
Got it, but you got to survive. You got to make it.
You got to make it. He should have survived now, and it was in the 80s. I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't think he made it in the 80s.
I agree with
you. I think they would have ate him for lunch.
I totally get it. But here's the other thing too. He's 6'8", 260. Guess what? He gets to do what they do to him. He gets to do it to them too. Some of those players there that are playing small forward, the guy's 6'9" and 260. A lot of them people, they wouldn't have wanted to see him either. So, but I'm with you. Like I don't like the attitude. I don't like the kind of, I don't know,
begging for damn fouls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. I totally agree with you. Look, number one scoring offense. We're going to do our picks here in a minute, but Washington Commanders, they are a force to be reckoned with. Another team we talked about.
They just don't have the defense to go too far.
They just we talked about the Atlanta Falcons here a couple minutes ago. What were they missing? What was holding them back? What was the one piece? The quarterback position. Now they didn't go the route of drafting a quarterback. But they went and got the quarterback, and you see they're playing better. This kid, knock on wood, I see a lot of RG3 with him, but he's better than RG3. Marcus, he's better than RG3. RG3 had them. I remember when RG3 came into the league in 2000. God, it's been 12 years already. When RG3 came in 2012.
The one thing I think he's better than RG3 is his accuracy.
Yeah, he's a better thrower of the ball, and he ain't taking kill shots. RG3 never learned how to slot, and that's why he's a commentator now, and that's why his career ended so early. So we'll see here. They got a big test this weekend. We'll get to the picks here in a minute.
I'm going to tell you something now, too. There's another quarterback in this league. If he doesn't start sliding more, he's going to be out of the season. He's going to get Lamar Jackson. He's got to look when he runs. Yes, it's beautiful. It's phenomenal. But when you dive to get an extra 2 yards,
feet first.
Yes.
Feet first.
Make him go play baseball. Make him go play baseball and learn to slide.
What's the team with the Washington? What's the Washington Nationals? Have them go over there and spend a day with Bryce Harper. You're gonna follow Bryce Harper. That's what I would do. Baltimore Orioles.
I meant to message you the other day and tell you, look, you bet boy looking good. Your cousin looking good.
Yeah. They lost the other day. I actually sat up and watched the baseball game. He's like, Marcus, you need to watch some baseball. So I actually watched the game. Now they lost it, but I watched them. But we'll see. They got the number one scoring offense. We'll find out a lot about, we talked about, you say you don't have no faith in the Ravens defense. Well, guess what? They're facing the number one offense. No.
I did not say I didn't have any faith in the Ravens defense. I did not say that. I know.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't put words in my mouth. Let me tell you what I said.
Okay.
What I said was Dwayne Woodley said the Bengals defense is suspect. When you allow your opponent to score 38 points, then you got to start wondering about that defense too. What was going on? I understand they have a high-powered offense. We already know this. But when you allow your opponent to score 38 points in their division rivals, and usually those scores are 21-17.
I've seen y'all beat the piss out of the Browns before and beat the piss out of the Bengals.
We're not talking about the Browns. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals high-powered offense who scored 38 points against the Baltimore Ravens defense.
Okay.
And
let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this. Where do you, just real quick, where do you consider the 85 Bears as far as their defense?
Number 2.
Okay. Dan Marino on a Monday Night Football game carved them boys up. Dan Marino, in that year they went on to go to be 15-1.
Right.
Okay. Dan Marino with the Marks brothers, Mark Duper and Mark Clayton, went to the Chicago Bears. I remember it. I cried. I was 85 Bears. I was like 10 years old. And the Bears, they went on to win the Super Bowl shuffle and all of that crap. You said that's the number 2 all-time defense ever. And I watched them get carved. I watched Dan Marino perform surgery on them. Sometimes it's not that you're a bad defense. Sometimes you run into a all-world quarterback or all-world offense, and Dan Marino, go back and watch that game. I remember it like it was yesterday, just like watching Mike Tyson lose to Buster Douglas, okay? Just because one week you have an overall good team. Sometimes you run into, again, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. The Cincinnati Bengals defense sucks. But what they do have is one of the best when they're firing on all cylinders, because you cannot double anybody, because we just showed Jamar Chase in the top 5, right?
Yep.
It's receivers. And on the other side of him, he has a receiver who next season will be making $30+ million and be somebody on 20 other teams, 25 other teams. What would T. Higgins be on the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, Mona? What receiver would he be on your team right now?
He would. I think he would be our number 1 receiver.
That's what I'm. And on 25 other teams, he would be a number 1 receiver.
Once we brought Higgins to the team, Pickens would be walking down the field instead of jogging.
That's what I'm saying. So sometimes it's not that your defense sucks. It's that you face an all-world. I watched one year the 2001, the 2000. You're a Bama fan.
I get what you're saying. Let's go ahead and move on because I'm getting a headache. Honest to God, I'm getting a headache. And it's 15 after 11 already.
Okay.
We still got a few slides.
We only been on. So, Mona, give me the Rocky Bauer plate.
The Rocky Bauer Tough Guy Awards for the week are: we have Patrick Surtain.
PS2.
Second.
That 100-yard interception return. Oh my God! Autumn and Melissa Bowden messaged me. They're like, they texted me, but I could hear the excitement in their voice. It was awesome. It was absolute. Marcus, did you saw? I saw it, Melissa. I saw it. Autumn. Marcus, I saw it. Autumn. I saw it. It was incredible.
Our NFC defensive guy, Xavier McKinney, with the Green Bay Packers.
What school did he go to, Bona?
Bama.
That's right.
Trust me, I wanted him when he came up for the draft.
What school did Patrick Surtain go to?
Bama.
Yeah. Okay. Just putting it out there. Football factory. Nick Saban.
He's just trying to test me and see what I know. All right. Our offensive players of the week are Lamar Jackson with 61.9% completion rate. I just thought that was.
I don't want to hear anybody else say that Lamar Jackson cannot throw the football. I don't want to hear it no more.
Well, he also threw them against Cincinnati Bengals defense. So just leaving that there.
Okay, so every week, so every week when they play against the Bengals, so if Russell Wilson or Justin Fields plays against the Bengals, I need them to throw for 4 touchdowns too. Because they're not that good.
For 1 touchdown in any games this year. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. Look, last year,
Whoa! When you have an offensive line like the Pittsburgh Steelers, you can bet you we're not going to be throwing the ball a whole lot.
I got you. Last year, the Broncos let a team score 70 points on them, and everybody's laughing. Okay, then why don't you score 70 points on them? If they're that bad, you should be able to score 70 points on them too, right?
I'm just saying he was throwing against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, whose secondary is pretty much non-existent except for him.
So everybody that plays against them should be able to throw 4 touchdowns because they're not that good. Right?
But nobody.
Using that logic,
he hasn't thrown 4 touchdowns in any game until today, or until that game.
Okay, and nobody else had thrown 4 touchdowns against the Bengals, but he did.
Wait a minute. Aren't the Bengals like 0-4 or 1-4?
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
and Kirk Cousins, Player of the Week for the Falcons.
Outstanding.
Yep.
I mean, he looked back. He looked like the Kirk Cousins.
To me, he exposed Tampa Bay's defense.
Yeah, their defense isn't really that great either. They're really not.
Okay, and special teams players of the week are Kaim Fairbairn.
He's been on here before.
I've never said his name before, so no, he hadn't. I've never seen him as AFC player, special player of the week. I'll have to go back and check. I think he's been AFC special teams player of the week. I don't even remember him, so because I had to guess on Kaimi.
Yeah.
Fairbairn. And then Isaiah Simmons with the New York Giants. Blocked the game time field goal attempt with 1.5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter to win that game.
Outstanding. Out freaking. Now, we didn't go ahead, Mom.
We also have our players of the month as well, and I'm going to run through those real fast. We have Josh Allen, Player of the Month. We have Sam Darnold.
This is for September. Remember, this is for September, everybody.
Month of September, right. Then we have Kyle Van Noy with the Baltimore Ravens for Player of the Month, and we have Aiden Hutchinson for Player of the Month. Then for our special teams, we have my guy, Chris Boswell, as Player of the Month for September, and we have your guy, Brandon Aubrey, with Player of the Month.
Yeah, look, man, it used to be if you kick a 50-yard field goal, like that was just like a big accomplishment. These guys, they're kicking 50-yarders like it ain't nothing now. They're really doing it. And then the game last night, we talked about it a little bit. Brock Purdy surgery, absolute surgery. George Pickens 2 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel, goodness gracious, I think he had a 76-yard touchdown last night, and just Brock Purdy just being they find ways to win. The defense looked good. Bosa had a good game, and then hell, even like their 4th-string running back Isaiah Guerrero, he had a 76-yard run, and then he could have scored, and he just slid down so they could run out the clock. I mean, they look. 49ers, I talk about cornerstone franchise. Well, you know what? Here's another one. The San Francisco 49ers, they're always going to be in the mix when it comes to things. So congratulations to them last night. And the 3-0 Seattle Seahawks, who started out so hot, they part of a 3-game losing streak. And this is why I tell you all, who you're like Aaron Rodgers said, I'm using the Aaron Rodgers quote, relax. RELAX. I get it. You're happy because you come out. You're 3-0. There's no awards for being 3-0. San Francisco back on top in that division. So the Rams, they're not going anywhere. You know, they're not going anywhere, and they're just not. So San Francisco's that team. So we did our picks. Mona, you picked San Francisco last night.
Yes, I did.
I picked San Francisco last night. I think I'm 2 games behind you. Shout out to my guy Leroy Smith. I was trying to figure out who the hell was Smitty's World.
Me and Leroy should be tied, but they screwed me out of my damn Dallas pick over the Giants 2 weeks ago, and they still ain't gave it to me.
So we have another. We got. We did our Thursday game. We have another London game, 9 a.m. So if you're the kind of person that likes to sleep in on Sunday, do you sleep in on Sundays or you get up early? Like, do you? Like,
I watch. I'm up at 6:30, 7 o'clock about every morning.
Okay. The girls are up by. I get up because the dogs, and then for my fantasy stuff, I get up because I'm watching the fantasy football shows, and I watch football all day. Last week was so beautiful because it was the longest football day ever. It started early, with the London game, and then the Dallas Steelers game went into Monday morning. It was like the longest football day ever recorded. So that was great. Outstanding. Well, if you want. But we got another London game. Jags at Bears. Mona, talk to me.
I've got the Bears 24-16.
Bears 24-16. I'm also going Bears. But I'll say this. Doug Peterson, you want to keep your job one more week? Win this game. If you lose this game in an embarrassing fashion in London in front of everybody, because you're going to be the only game on in the morning for the people to get up, and you lose in an embarrassing fashion, this will probably be your last week. So you might want to win this game. I'm going Bears 24-14. You went 24-16. Okay. Start our 1 o'clock games. Colts at Titans. No Jonathan Taylor. No Michael Pittman Jr. for the Colts. Mona?
I'm taking the Titans.
Okay.
Tennessee at home.
Coming off a bye.
24 Colts 14.
24-14. I'm also going Titans. I think Tony Pollard has an outstanding game.
Who's quarterbacking?
Will Levis. Oh, or for the Colts or the Titans?
Titans.
Will Levis. But I think that they lean on the run in this game, and then the Colts, just all of their good players are hurt.
I think because Colts defense is still pretty damn good. I think Levis ends up leaving the game, and Rudolph takes over.
He might. He saved their skin a couple of weeks ago. He came in and won the game for them. 24-14 Titans. Texans at the Drake May era has begun. Texans at Patriots. Mona?
I'm taking the Texans. I found my little notepad. I'm taking Texans 28-12.
I'm also taking the Texans 31-10. I think it's going to be very ugly. NFC South battle. Bucks at Saints. Mona, the Spencer Rattler era.
I'm still going to take the Bucks. I think losing that game last week against the Falcons, right?
Yes.
I think. God, money. No tape on Spencer Rattler. No tape. I'm still going with the Bucks. 21-18.
I'm also going Bucks. I think Baker Mayfield has an outstanding game. 28-14 Bucks. Brownies at Eagles coming off of a bye. Mona.
Who came off the bye?
Eagles.
Yes.
And they get back AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Oh, I'm going with the Eagles. Period. Didn't matter who was back. Eagles 28, Browns 10.
I'm also going Eagles. Deshaun Watson, if you have another bad game, you might get benched. They're talking about benching you and putting in Jameis Winston. I could see maybe Jameis Winston starting this game. 27-12. 27-12 Eagles. Big game. DMC area for all the people out there. That's not the Department of Motor Vehicles.
A big game.
Oh,
the Baltimore Ravens are going to walk over top of the Commanders.
Well, it's a. Right now, the Commanders are in first place in the NFC East. If you want to look, eventually the Cowboys are going to get healthy. Eventually the Eagles are going to get on track. You got to try to get a win. And people are questioning you. They're questioning you, saying that, oh, you ain't really faced nobody. Well, you're facing the number one seed from the AFC and from the AFC North. Here's a test. Let's see if you're really for real, Commanders. Let's see if you're really for real.
34-10 Baltimore.
Ravens. 34-10. I'm also going Ravens. I think they kick their ass. I think that Derrick Henry runs up and down the field on these boys. 35-24. I think the Commanders have an offense now, and that kid, but I think they're going to put some heat on them. Last 1 o'clock game, Cards at Green Bay. Mona.
Green Bay. 28-16. 28-16.
I'm also going Green Bay. I think Romeo Doubs comes back off of this suspension. They kind of sat him down, try to get him back on track. And I think Love throws 3 touchdowns, spreads the ball around, but I think Dobbs has a really good game this week. 30-17 Green Bay.
I think Josh Jacobs gets a touchdown in this game too.
I can see that, definitely. Mona, your Steelers against the Raiders, classic rock. What's this, the Immaculate Reception game?
I'm taking my Steelers.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 24-12.
I'm also going Steelers. I think Justin Fields. I think he has a game this week. I think he really shows out this week, and I think maybe Pickens has a damn good game too. They look for him, try to get him involved in the game. 24-10. Their offense sucks. Aiden O'Connell starting. I think this is the TJ Watt breakout game. I think it's a multiple TJ Watt sack game against Aiden O'Connell. AFC West battle, Chargers, Broncos. Mona.
I am taking the Chargers. Okay. $21-14.
21-14. I'm also taking the chart. We're kind of on the same sheet of music today, Mona. Chargers coming off of a bye. Herbert should be well rested. I like the kid McConkey. J.K. Dobbins is running the ball well. And I think that Chargers defense, they're going to get after Bo Nix. I'm going to say 27. Not that many points. 20-13 Chargers. Lions travel to Dallas, Mona.
I have the Lions in a close game. I'm going to say 21-18.
21-18. I'm taking the Lions too. No Micah, no DeMarcus Ware, no DeMarcus Lawrence. Our linebacker, Eric Kendricks, he's been ruled out. I just don't think. Look, the Lions are going to be upset about that game last year. That really bad game last year. That dumbass Dan Campbell kept trying to go for it. He kept trying to go for it. He didn't have to. I think this year, I think that they just try to run the ball. I think you're going to see a heavy dosage of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs because the Cowboys' run defense is terrible. I'm going to say 24-20. I think Dak will keep them in the game. I think this is going to be a big Dak and CD game, but they just don't have the firepower. I think the Cowboys will rally at the end, but I think they jump on the Cowboys and they just run the ball. Falcons at Panthers, Mo.
I am taking the Falcons.
Okay.
Red Rocket keeps them in there for a little while, but I think that the Falcons they've got too many offensive weapons. I'm going to say 28 to 28-18.
28-18. I'm also taking the Falcons. Too many weapons. Just too many. Kirk Cousins is firing on all cylinders. 31-14. 31-14. I think it's a blowout. Bengals, Sunday night. Bengals at New York Giants, Mona.
I'm taking the Bengals. Defensively, they're about the same. But I think the Bengals offense scores. I think it's going to be a heat.
No neighbors in this. No neighbors in this game. No no Singletary. No neighbors.
I'm going to say 38 to 4. I want to say 38-12.
38-12. I'm also taking the Bengals. I think they take their frustrations out on them. 35-14. And the Monday night game, Buffalo at the Jets. Mona?
I am absolutely taking the Jets.
Okay.
I think you said total different offense out there. I know that the Bills defense is going to try to get after Aaron Rodgers. But we all know Aaron Rodgers can get rid of the ball pretty fast. I think that you're going to see a running game against Buffalo Bills. I think that Aaron, look, I think the Jets win this game. I'm going to say 26-18.
I'm going Jets too. I think Josh Allen might be hurt, and I hate that, but I think he may be hurt. And they have no weapons. They no weapons that scare you. Kaiir Elam is out, so now you're starting a rookie, Keon Coleman. I mean, you got Cooks. He's good. Dalton Kincaid hasn't really done squat, and and the Jets defense is really good. I just showed y'all Will McDonald is top 5 in sacks, and the Bills, they got you got to deal with Garrett Wilson and Lazard and Mike Williams. I just don't see it. I think this, look, we talk about coaches being on a hot seat. I think McDermott's starting to get there because he made some bad.
Oh, no, now they're blaming it on the general manager.
Well, yeah, not Magic Bean. Not Magic Bean.
That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I'm being sorry. Magic Bean, he's a great GM. He does all this great stuff. I think Josh Allen, he's just really lacking weapons. He's really lacking weapons. I think Josh Allen's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, but it just goes to show, you gotta. I don't care who you are, you gotta have weapons around. If not, which is okay. So what? You're just gonna run Josh Allen and James Cook? Nobody on the perimeter. And like I said, your best receiver, which is Shakir, he's out. And Kincaid, who's supposed to be, the next Travis Kelce, he's a first round pick. 31.
I think Kincaid would be playing better ball if he actually had some receiving weapons.
I agree. 31-17 Jets. I just don't see it. They really need to do something by the trade deadline. We're talking about some of these wide receivers and stuff. Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper. People they've been discussed in trade talk. T. Higgins. I don't know if they'd be willing to trade him.
There are a couple of these that I actually might flip flop on a couple of these games, and I will send you my scores if I. You always do. You always. I change up some of my stuff. Sometimes I'll see something last minute, and so that's everything. Announcement. I'll make a reel for it probably tomorrow when I get up. Sunday, 2:05, Moose's Head Draft House. I will be chopping it up, and I'll be going live for the Steelers Raiders game. Mona, I'll be harassing you before the game, and maybe at halftime because you're kind of like me. Don't mess with me during my game. Don't do it. If you call me during my game, I will not answer the phone. I'm telling you that right now. Oh, Marcus, do not call me during my game. Win, lose, or draw. Even if the Cowboys are up 50-0, don't call me because I'm not going to answer the phone call. I'm just not going to answer it. Don't do that. Text me. That's cool. I'll look at it, but don't call me. Don't physically call. Don't video call me. Don't do that because I won't answer. But unless you're a long-haired blonde and mostly naked, then you might video chat.
Well, I'm more of a brunette, like my co-host. But anyways, or the dark skin Hispanic. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought. Molly Karen, squirrel. I will be there. And I will put up the video. We're going to do a raffle. Shout out to Bernice Hernandez from the Chavas Barbershop for donating men's grooming package. Ladies, I got some. Look, I will go and I'll do a raffle. Somebody said, "What about the women?" I will go, and I know some people who do nails and stuff, and we'll do a raffle. Next time it'll be ladies oriented. Okay, I'm sorry. Like people were there, what about so you're doing a haircut for men and beard oil and beard butter? I use that beard oil and beard butter. So it was a little bit easier. But I will make it up to you, ladies. Don't attack me. Next one I will do maybe a spa day or something like that. I'll see somebody and we'll raffle that off. Don't attack me, okay? I'm sorry. I don't want no problems, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll put up the video of that, and Mona, I showed you a picture of it. I'll put it up in the group, and that's what we're going to be doing on Sunday. I'll be up there with the 915, just good people. Shout out to Ben Avila and his lovely wife, Melissa. They do my merch and stuff like that. And he's the president of the 915 Student Club. They're going to be waving their towels. And I would imagine there will be a few.
Grab me one of them.
Which one?
One of them towels. I got a black one. Yeah, I got a black one with yellow writing.
Mona. I meant to send this to you. There. No.
Oh, hell yeah. That'll go with my pink hoodie. Beth got me a pink Steelers hoodie a couple years ago.
Mona, I'm here. I got you, Mona. Mona, I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. So I'll be there for that. I'll post up some videos from it. I'll go live for a little bit, not too long, because I want to enjoy the game, and they get a little bit rowdy over there.
A little bit?
They like to roast pigs and, really like roast a whole pig. I sent Mona the pictures of it. So I might be having a few alcoholic beverages and dancing and doing some other things that may not be good on the camera. It's for my mom to see. So that's what I'll be doing on Sunday. And make sure, that you get you some Alphabets Football Show merchandise. It helps with just certain stuff. This stuff gets kind of expensive. 25 short sleeve t-shirt, 35 long sleeve t-shirt, 52 for the hoodies. Get with me, help a brother out, so I can send Mona some stuff. And
I need a webcam.
another webcam.
Yep.
And another mouse.
No, my mouse is good. My keyboard.
I sent you like two mouses.
You sent me two mice. Mice
or two mouses? Two mouses? You saying mouses or mice?
You have to ask your mommy. She was a school teacher. Ask her. But I have both of them. The one conked out on me, and I finally threw it in the drawer, and I went and actually got me a good one. And then I was going through my drawer one day. I was like, "Shit, that's right. He sent me two of them suckers." I should have grabbed it. I went and paid. That
was very deliberate. That was very deliberate.
Well,
so yes,
I get mad if I'm watching the game and I got my mouse in my hand and something happens and I forget I got it and he goes flying across the room. And
I feel you. I did that with Matt. Me and Tito used to destroy Matt PlayStation controllers during Madden. I got you. If there. I've been doing these live streams. If there's something that you want me to do, I'll sit down and do some research, football related, and I'll get up. I've been asked to do that a little bit more. Get up.
Wayne asked for us to start doing a call line too. I noticed that in the call.
I know. He asked me something about why do I feel like the Ravens? He asked a question. I told him wait till the end of the show.
And I already told you. Already told you. The AFC is going to be led by the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know who the NFC is going to bring to the Super Bowl, but the AFC is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're going to three-peat.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. So right now, until further notice, it's Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
So now there could be a power shift in a couple of weeks. Now, look, here's the thing about it. I reserve the right to change my mind as facts change. See, some of y'all won't change your mind no matter what. If I see something different,
if Mahomes goes down.
Yeah, there's mitigate. Marcus, you said this. Yes, I did, because that was the information I had at the time. If Jamar Chase goes to the I don't know, if Josh Allen goes to the Miami Dolphins with I'm being facetious here. If Josh Allen goes to the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Mostert and Achane, I'm going to change my mind based off of information, new information. We have the trade deadline coming up, and the Devontae Adams sweepstake, in my opinion, is going to change the balance of power depending on where he goes. I really do believe that. If Davante Adams goes to the Steelers, I think he changes that offense. If he goes to the Ravens, I think he changes that offense. If he goes to the Jets, I think he changes that offense. If he goes back to the Packers, I think he changes that offense. I don't think he's going to the Chiefs because Mark Davis is not going to trade Davante Adams to an AFC West team. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Even if they're the bottom dwellers of the NFC,
he's not going to give them to the Chiefs. He would give them to any other team but the Chiefs or the Broncos or the Chiefs or the Broncos. He's just not going to for the Cards.
I can see them sending Adams to a team that they think could knock the Chiefs out of the playoffs.
Maybe. I think what they want. I want maximum return on him. Except if it's a team from the AFC West. If you're offering me a first round pick from me, sold. People say I wouldn't do that. Your house is worth $200,000, and somebody's like, "Hey, I'll give you $200,000 for your house." Well, that's not really worth it for me because it's like, okay, I gotta move out of my house. I'm not gonna sell you my house for what I paid for it. Now, if you say, Marcus, I'll give you $400,000, sold. You can, Marcus, I'll give you $400,000, no, sold. I'm gonna say it. When do you want me out? because now you're giving, in the words of Michael Corleone in The Godfather, you're giving me an offer I can't refuse. So right. That's what it is. Everybody have a good night. Mona, last words.
Thanks everybody for supporting our show and being here every week. And I know a lot of people have left the show already, but that's fine. Everybody has lives. Trust me, lives get away. Sorry I missed 2 weeks in a row, but hey, I'm back now.
I'll hold it down. We appreciate y'all, man. Let me know if y'all what you want me to discuss on Coffee Talk, and I'll do a little research and I'll do a rant in the mornings for Monday. So everybody,
I join him when he gets the request.
For sure. See ya.
Low, sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now, homie, run me the stash. Put them ones in the bag, now count up. Count up. Count up. Count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billion, 5 billion.